Hi, my name is Kristin Anderson. For this assignment, I don't have permission to have the student in the video, so I'm just going to read it myself as if the student is with me. So a little background information about the student. They're 5 years old, they're in a preschool class. It's an integrated class with typically developing students and other students with disabilities. The student is obviously diagnosed with autism. They're a little bit more high functioning, so their comprehension level is a little bit higher. But I've decided to keep the sentences short and simple so that it keeps the student engaged and they don't lose attention. But also I wanted to match their level of comprehension. So I've also kept them a little bit more broad because I wanted to be able to make it specific to the events that will be occurring. The story is read prior to the events or activities in order to help prepare the student, give them a little like a priming procedure so that the student's aware of what will happen and how they can respond and how they may feel and how teachers may feel. So it's a way to help prepare the student. The target behavior is following directions, and in particular, the student has some difficulties when routines change or when they're instructed to engage in activity that they don't necessarily prefer or they have to share, or if something that they want to do isn't an option. So the focus of the story is on helping the student kind of cope with those changes and how they can respond more appropriately. I've also made the story specific to the child. So the actual story that I have obviously uses the student's name and uses a picture of the student. But for confidentiality issues, I changed the name in the story that I'm using for the video assignment. And I've also just used a picture from Google so that it's not of the student. And I like to discuss some of the things that are going on in the story with the students, so I stop and make sure that they understand and also point out things to keep them engaged and make sure that they're comprehending. So now I'm going to start, and this is the cover, and it says, Luke follows the rules at school. So I would start by saying, look, that's you, and this whole story is about you. Luke follows the rules at school. When I am at school, I listen to the directions and follow the rules, right? Look, what are these students doing? That's right, they're raising their hands because that's what we do when we follow the rules. And here are some more rules that we have. Remember, our eyes are watching, our ears are listening, our mouths, our hands, and our feet are quiet, our body is facing who is talking, our brains are thinking, and our hearts are caring. So these are all the behaviors that we have when we're listening to directions and we're following the rules, right? When I am at school, sometimes things change. So look, sometimes we get to play in the playground, sometimes we get to play in the gym, sometimes we're the line leader, sometimes we stand in the back, sometimes we get to choose where we want to sit on the carpet, and sometimes our teachers tell us where to sit. Sometimes we get to play with trains and dinosaurs and cars. Sometimes we do activities like painting and drawing. And sometimes we don't like to paint or draw, but if our teachers tell us that's what we're doing, we still follow the directions, right? And sometimes things change. So the teacher might say we're going to paint, but then she might change her mind and say that we have to draw instead. Oh, look, how does he feel? Yeah, this face is sad. Sometimes I do not want to do what my teachers tell me, and this makes me feel sad. Remember, it's okay to feel sad sometimes, and it's okay to not always want to do what other people are doing, right? But I can use my words to ask my teachers nicely if I can do something else. So you can ask for right now, look, that's you. And some things you can say are, Miss Kristin, I do not want to build right now. Can I play with the trains? And I might say, yes, nice job using your words the first time. You can build. Or I might say, no, not right now. But that's okay, right? And you can ask him maybe do something later. So look, here you are again. And you can say, Miss Kristin, I know we have to paint today, but can we play with the dinosaurs tomorrow? And I might say, yeah, thank you for using your words. Great job. We could do that tomorrow. Or I might say, we'll see, things might change. But remember, it's okay, and you always use our words. Because look, when I follow the directions and use my words, I will earn trains on my token board. When I earn all my trains, I will be able to play on the iPad. This makes me happy and my teacher's happy. So look, here's your token board. Here's your train track. And remember, when you use your words and follow the directions, you get your trains. And then at the end, you get to play on the iPad. And that makes you so happy and your teacher so happy, right? And look, here's our last page. It says, I feel proud when I follow the directions and use my words. Look how happy you are right here. And you get to earn all your tokens on your token board, and you get to play with the iPad, and you make your teachers happy and proud. Okay, so that's the end of the story. And like I said, I would make it specific to the event that's occurring. So I would read it, or another teacher would read it with the student right before there's going to be a change in activities, or an activity that the student particularly doesn't really like. And we'll make it very specific to what's going to be happening. And we'll talk about how they may not want to do it, but they can use their words, and that if they do it, then they'll get their tokens and they'll be able to play on the iPad, and we'll choose a game before so that they know what they're able to work towards. So like I said, we'll make it very personalized and very individualized for the student and for the particular activity or event that's going to be happening.